I don't think people understand food labels. They can be really confusing with all the different terms and claims. It's like trying to decode a secret language while you're just trying to buy some groceries. But today, we'll clear it all up. Let's start with organic. Organic foods are grown without synthetic pesticides or fertilizers. This means the farming practices are more natural and often better for the environment. When you see the organic label, it means you're getting produce that hasn't been treated with synthetic chemicals. Eaten clean, right? But remember, organic doesn't always mean healthier. It's more about how the food is grown. Next up, non-GMO. This label means the food isn't genetically modified. Genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, are plants or animals that have had their DNA altered in the lab. Like no lab experiments in your salad. Non-GMO foods are often preferred by people who want to avoid these modifications. Then there's gluten-free. Gluten-free is perfect for people with celiac disease or gluten sensitivities. Celiac disease is a serious condition where gluten damages the small intestine. For these individuals, eating gluten-free is essential, but it doesn't mean healthier. Many gluten-free products can be high in sugar and fat to make up for the lack of gluten. So, always check the nutrition label. Ever seen natural on a label? It sounds good, but it's kind of vague. The term natural isn't strictly regulated, so it can mean different things. It usually means no artificial flavors or colors. However, it doesn't guarantee that the food is free from pesticides or genetically modified ingredients. So, while natural sounds appealing, it's important to look at the ingredients list to see what you're really getting. Always check the ingredients. This will give you a better idea of what's in your food. Don't forget low fat and fat-free. These labels mean the food has less fat compared to the regular version, but sometimes they add extra sugar to make up for the loss of flavor. So, while you're cutting down on fat, you might be increasing your sugar intake. So, read those labels carefully. Lastly, sugar-free. This means the product has no sugar, but it might contain sugar substitutes like stevia or erythritol. These substitutes can be a good option if you're watching your sugar intake, but they can also have their own effects on your body. Great if you're watching your sugar intake. But again, moderation is key. Just because something is sugar-free doesn't mean you should eat it in large quantities. So next time you're at the grocery store, take a moment to read and understand the labels. It can help you make better choices for your health. You'll know exactly what those labels mean. Happy shopping, foodies. And remember, the best food choice is the one that makes you feel great. See you next time. Keep exploring and learning about the food you eat. Your body will thank you for it. Let's dive a bit deeper into some of these claims. For instance, organic can also mean that the food is free from genetically modified organisms. This is an added benefit for those who are concerned about GMOs. Organic farming practices also promote biodiversity and soil health, which can have long-term benefits for the environment. So, when you choose organic, you're also supporting sustainable farming practices. Now let's talk more about non-GMO. Some people choose non-GMO foods because they believe these foods are more natural and less processed. However, it's important to note that the safety of GMOs is still a topic of ongoing research. While some studies suggest that GMOs are safe to eat, others raise concerns about their long-term effects on health and the environment. So it's a personal choice whether to include or avoid GMOs in your diet. Moving on to gluten-free. For those with celiac disease, even a small amount of gluten can cause serious health issues. But for others, going gluten-free might not be necessary and could even lead to nutrient deficiencies if not done properly. It's always a good idea to consult with a healthcare professional before making significant changes to your diet, especially if you're considering going gluten-free without a medical reason. The term natural can be particularly misleading. Just because something is labeled as natural doesn't mean it's healthy. For example, natural sugars like honey and maple syrup are still sugars and should be consumed in moderation. It's crucial to look beyond the marketing and understand what you're really consuming. Reading the ingredients list and nutrition facts can provide a clearer picture of the food's nutritional value. Low-fat and fat-free products can also be tricky. While they may have less fat, they often contain added sugars or artificial ingredients to enhance flavor. This can sometimes make them less healthy than their full-fat counterparts. It's all about balance. Including a variety of whole foods in your diet, such as fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins, can help you maintain a healthy lifestyle without relying too much on processed foods. Sugar-free products can be beneficial for those managing their sugar intake, but it's important to be aware of the types of sugar substitutes used. Some people may experience digestive issues with certain substitutes like sugar alcohols. Moderation is key. Just because a product is sugar-free doesn't mean it's calorie-free or healthy. It's essential to consider the overall nutritional profile of the food. So, next time you're at the grocery store, take your time to read and understand the labels. It can make a significant difference in your food choices and overall health. Knowledge is power.